Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics. My little helper puppy, and Kitty was around. I don't know where she went to. Anyway, it's a few days after the big snowstorm. A few inches of snow. Still little remnants of it. But it's sunny and 55 today. And then tomorrow it's going to be 65 and sunny for the next week. So I'm not sure why this hasn't, it was in the 50s the last couple of days, but I haven't been working out here, but I don't know why the snow hasn't melted yet. Most of it has, but okay. So we're restoring the 72 Nova, and we're starting on the body work. Last episode we've got a patch panel on this quarter panel here, from here down, and we did some Bondo work on that, so we pretty much got this half of it straightened out. Although you notice there was a whole bunch of old Bondo right in here and here, and it's really pretty straight. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. There is kind of a dent there, but it looked like it had way more Bondo than it needed, which it did. So anyway, we got a dent there. We're gonna start on this quarter panel because the sun's facing it and it's a lot warmer on this side than the other side of the car. Okay, there's a dent here. There is. I don't think there's any dents there. There's a little Bondo there. And then I'm worried about this little Bondo along this edge here. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Well, we'll find out what's underneath of it first. It's not that bad though. I think there might be a dent there. There's nothing major on it. There's a little dent here, and kind of a little scrape right there, but not bad at all. Nothing worth replacing a quarter over. Just take a little extra labor. So we're going to start on this side here in the shade. We got the quarter panel patch here, and I just put some Bondo glass, Dyna glass right there just to protect it. And while I was priming the rest, I just put some primer on it so it wouldn't rust. But before the snow hit, I did have it in the garage there. I just now pulled it out so it didn't get wet or nothing. That's the thing, you know, if you're working out on your car outside, just like I just had a comment, a guy was about to work on his car. He doesn't have a shop, just a driveway, and you can do it just like I'm doing it, but you got to protect it every night. You know, even morning dew, you know, even if it's not raining, just the morning dew on top of bare metal will rust it. So whatever you get done at the end of the day, make sure you put it in primer or something, you know, put a car cover, put some plastic on it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on this quarter panel. I'm going to use my soft grinding pad here. It's 24 grit. And I'm going to buzz all this off. Okay, all the way down the metal. This whole quarter panel, the rest of it. And I'm going to spread some Bondo on them little dents. And then we're going to strip this deck lid while I'm waiting for that Bondo to dry. Now this deck lid, again, last episode, this thing here had been all caved in and fixed. And I straightened all that out. Just roughed it in there. It needs to be all blocked down and re-primed. But we're not going to do that yet. So I did repair. I put a little piece of metal in here, welded it in, some Dyna glass over it. These had the two dealer holes here. Filled them in, and I could tell that it had been painted about 3 or 4 times. About 3 times, I think. I think the factory light blue, I think I call it robin eggs, whatever it is. And then it looked like another coat of that, and then this dark blue. Now it's kind of hard to tell. It's so faded, but there is a spot here. And there's a little dent right here. And that's from pounding it when the deck lid wouldn't line up, and you had to turn the key and pop it to open it. And I think that's about it. And of course, this deck lid's off that 4-door parts car I had. I did order another set of locks, door locks, and trunk lock, even though this works. But so I'm not going to worry too much about this lock if I hit it with the grinder or whatever. And I don't feel like taking it out right at this moment, because then you have to fuck around with a screwdriver and keep popping it. Okay, so yeah, so if you see the grinder hit that, don't worry about it. There's some little paint stuff here. But anyway, while I wait for Bondo to dry on that quarter panel, we're going to strip this with the same thing, these discs here, and get this whole deck lid down the metal. The whole car is going to go down the metal eventually, but we're only going to do a couple of panels at a time, and I'll probably just pull it in the garage at the end of the day instead of priming it, although I might prime it. Depends on, usually if I get a whole gun's worth of gun full of primer, instead of mixing up a little bit at a time, you know, to do a couple little spots. Because it's about noon today, I'll probably work about 4 hours or so. Or it's actually closer to 1. So whatever I can do in 4 hours, I'll get a cup full of primer, probably primer this deck lid and this quarter panel. May start on the other quarter panel. So anyway, let me get that going, and I'll be back. Okay guys, I'll show you a little bit of the grinding. This is as big as these discs are, and for some reason I probably ran out of my smaller backing plate, but this backing plate is almost as big as that disc. Because what you want to do is, you know, they wear out around the edges here. So you want to use some cutters and cut about 1 inch off, and then you can reuse it, same thing. So I'll probably use this for a little bit, and I'm going to change that backing plate to something about that big, and then cut that down about 1 inch, and just keep reusing it. You know, you don't reuse it till it's that big, but about half of it was about that big. But I'll just show you how I use it here to strip the paint off. You could do it with 80 grit or something, but it just takes so long. So you just... There's some old Bondo there. That's why it take it forever to get all that out with 80. That's why I use the grinding disc. Get all that old paint off. Yeah, I don't know what they did. They did some sanding and stuff on this, but they didn't take it down the metal. You can tell, like here, there wasn't much there. Probably a little bit of coat of this primer, probably just like this. But then here you got, you know, a couple of layers of the original paint and repaint. But so anyway, let me take this right down to shiny metal, this whole quarter panel, and I'll be back. And what you do is you don't sit there on one spot for very long either. You don't want to heat this up, it'll warp it. So if you're stuck on a spot, just move over here somewhere and then come back to this a couple of minutes later. Just don't get it all hot and warped. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I got it ground down with the grinder. It's what I was afraid. It was all full of Bondo up to here. So that's why, you know, originally if you watch my old videos, I wanted that patch panel that come up. But since I can't really get it because they want $150 to ship it. I'm not paying that. I'm just going to cut out some metal from the old patch panel. This is the stuff we didn't use from the patch panel. And someone mentioned a while ago I'd use them old fenders off the parts car and cut out the whole lip. I don't know if it'd be the same contour or not, but plus it's 68, be a 54-year-old metal. I got this brand new metal here, even if I got to cut it in little sections. You know, a little flat section here, and then another little flat section up here. Weld them together. I know it's sealed on the bottom. See, this is the inner fender well here, so it's not through that. I can feel it. There's no rod in the inner wheel well. So let me do that. Let me get some little patches cut out. I guess we're gonna have to do. There's a big dent here, not big, but dent there, and probably go from like here to here. Just weld it in. See, the bottom lip's okay here. Weld it into that, and a little bit above here and here. It's the most I can do. And once I cut this out, I'm going to put some rust treatment on that inner stuff. Even though I kind of got it from the inside, but you can see this Bondo, it kept it from getting down in there. Okay, so you can see the holes for the that they had filled in for the aftermarket moldings. I'm going to just fill them in with some Dynaglass stuff. Then they had a whole bunch of Bondo here. There is a little dent here, but they had the Bondo like way up here. So anyway, I had to grind that out. I think that's it, just a little dent there. And those other dents we talked about, not too bad, one there. So yeah, whatever. I'll be going over this with 80 grit DA paper too. But anyway, let me cut the little patches out for here and I'll be back. Okay guys, I cut out all the rot here. As you can see, the bottom here looks pretty good. So I cut out 3 little pieces. There's one piece, it's curved, so you can't put one flat. So basically it's gonna go, I'm gonna tuck it up under here. I can't do it with one hand, but, and then it's gonna come down something like that. I'll pry it down with a screwdriver. And then this end here, well, that'll go over some more. Then this end will go here, and then this end will go here, like that, underneath. So let me get them situated and I'll be back. Okay guys, I got those 3 pieces in there. Okay, let me get this welded in there. You gotta be really careful so you don't burn through this old metal. And I gotta fill in a few little, I'll have to adjust it with a screwdriver here and pull this down. But anyway, let me do that and I'll be back. Okay guys, there's 3 little pieces of metal welded in there. I'm gonna mix up some Bondo glass here and just put in that area. I'll be back. Okay guys, I got that area covered in the Bondo glass and fixing to mix up some body filler and fill in the rest of these dents here. I'll be back. Okay guys, found Kitty. What you doing, Kitty? Okay, I filled in the bigger dents there, and while I was waiting for that body filler to dry, I started stripping this deck lid, and that's with this 24 grit, and I'm going over it with the 80 grit and the DA. I don't know how much life is left in this piece, but I'll just show you a little bit how to smooth it out. Okay, that's basically just go over it with 80 grit. A little ding here, this one here. See, this is why I got to strip it underneath, strip it down the metal, because underneath the paint there's this dent here, and there's a bunch of Bondo, and that old Bondo's probably been in there since 68 or 9. 50-year-old Bondo, and it was all kind of crappy and a little bit of rust forming. So I had to grind it all the way out. So that's why you never just scuff over old paint and paint it, because you don't know what's underneath of it. See? So that was the main thing. And this dent here was paint cracks. It was a ding. So that's the two major ones, that one, and this little one here. So far, but that's why you smooth it out. Once you smooth it out with 80 like this, then you can actually really feel little dings like that, and you can fix them. So anyway, that's what I'm going to go over with. Finish grinding this area here, and then go over the whole thing with 80, and then start filling the little dents. So I'll be back. Okay guys, I got the deck lid all stripped down. There was a couple of Bondo spots right here and here and there. Now, since I smoothed it out, I can feel a bunch of little, real small little hail dents right there, right there. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it for today and put some body fill on that tomorrow, smooth it out, get it ready to prime. Same with this side. I just went over the worst spots. It's probably gonna have to be skimmed a little bit. It's pretty straight, but little dent right there. But anyway, that's gonna be it for today, and tomorrow's gonna be a lot warmer. It wasn't bad today, but it was just windy. See how she starts. We can pull her inside. This shifter sometimes. Shifter's got to be in a certain spot. Keep her protected in the garage overnight. I got some, that choke cable keeps coming off because I don't know what happened to the clips. I lost them or something. I bought a bunch of little clips for the carburetor. I'll put them on there tomorrow. But anyway, see y'all tomorrow. Be a couple seconds for you guys. Okay guys, I bought all these little assortment of clips, carburetor clips from eBay a while back. They're for different sizes and they're like left and rights. You know, one will go that way, one will go that way. And I had to replace, I guess I lost them. I lost the one for here, so the choke wasn't going. And then the only one I could round up was a different, a left or a right, the opposite to this. So I had that rigged around and zip tied and everything. So anyway, I put the right one on there. I'll probably take these springs off. I put these springs on here to hold the accelerator cable back because this thing was all bound up. If you put the opposite one on there, it'll bind it up. Anyway, I'll probably take them off. I got these little clips from Steve. Thanks, Steve, for sending them. There's little metal clips here that hold the windlace on there at the top. And these are just used windlace ones. But anyway, they're just little metal clips. Come in handy. I didn't really know what exactly was there since nothing was there when I bought the car. Okay, so that sun's shining now. It's gonna be 67 degrees today. You got a bunch of dents on here, so I'm gonna mix up some body filler, fill in them dents, and then we're gonna start skimming this quarter panel here and get it straightened out. I got a few more dents there, but so I'll be back. Okay, got some body filler mixed up. What we're going to do is put these on the dents, then we're going to use the file to go over them. Like I said before, save us sanding and sandpaper and there's some big ones and some little ones. Big ones you probably have to go over, give it another little skim. The little ones you can do it with one little, like this one here, just a little. Yep, I screwed that up already. Okay, let me finish that and I'll be back. Drying fast in this sun, so I gotta be quick. See, that's going to need a little bit more. It's a big dent. Okay, you just let that dry a little bit longer and then just go over it with the DA. I go over it with 80, then use a block sander to block it out. Add more if you have to. I added some more on here. I guess this is drying fast too. Okay, so I'll be back after I get some of it sanded. Okay guys, I got her knocked down with the DA sander. Now, it's got a little block and a big block. It don't really matter too much on these little hail dents, but just use my 80 grit DA paper and just go over it. When you use your DA, don't knock it all the way down. Just go over it a few times and then use your block to flatten it out. Kind of go in circles and up and down, different directions. These little ones that go fast, but basically like that. That little ding is fixed. We'll do it later, but you'll go over it, get some 180 DA paper and go over it with 180 before you prime it, and then it's ready to prime. These bigger ones will take a little bit longer to do. Basically, just keep going like that, rub it with your hand, make sure it's flat. You got to use, I'm using one hand to hold the camera, but use your other hand to knock the dust out of it. Dust or that, or your hand or that file. Use that file. That's why that one I got is broke. You can go like this, knock that stuff out. I get my money's worth on this sandpaper because everything's so expensive. So anyway, keep going over it. I won't bore you with doing the whole thing. This one here, like I said, it was a pretty good sized dent. So you'll see, you block it down, You'll still have a little spot there, and what you do is skim over it. Skim over it again once you sand it down real good. And same with this side here. These are just the main dents. It's got some warpage in here. Well, that's another dent. And I may have to skim the whole thing. It's kind of hard to tell whether this here is a body line or a... If you look at the other side, it's flat here. And it's kind of curved up here. But anyway, I'll be back. Okay guys, it's been a little while. I've been sanding and blocking and all that off camera. So we got the deck lid and this quarter panel here all ready to prime. Okay, so just wanted to go over. It's got some primer in from eBay. This is the Epoxy Primer I buy. I think it's about 125 bucks shipped. It seems to work. I mean, it's not an expensive brand, but at least it's a two-part epoxy. You want to get some primer like that takes a catalyst hardener. Okay. The body filler, I just buy the Bondo from Walmart. Used to be 15 bucks, now it's like 18 something. But it's still cheap. I mean, so you just gotta keep working it with that body filler instead of wasting primer and stuff like that. I don't want to. But a lot of people will just prime the hell out of it, keep priming and priming, and say it's like liquid Bondo and stuff like that. Don't fall for any of that. It's just a waste of money on the primer. So just if you feel little dents and waves, just keep skimming it over, blocking it. It takes some time, but okay. What else did I buy here? I bought a roll of 80 grit DA paper. It's about 27 bucks for 100. I got a roll of 80 coming. I bought some fixing to put these in. Bought some zinc stuff for hot rods, classic cars, and race engines. And these are for cars that pre-catalytic converters, so pre-74, say. You add one of them in with an oil change, and I think I got 3 cars that have like this one. This Nova here's got the 68 engine, the GTO's got the 70 engine, and the Le Mans I believe is a 70 engine. I still haven't looked to see what engine code that is. The rest of the engines in these are 74 and up, so I don't have to worry about them. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that. I bought some zinc for the oil, and then this stuff for the lead additive. It's lead substitute. It's not real lead. They don't make that no more, but it does the same thing. And you only add, what they say, 4 ounces per, or this whole thing here is good for 21 gallons. So I got probably 4 or 5 gallons in each car. I put in about a quarter of one of these, 2. And that'll be for cars 73 and under. So, well, I put some in. I put some in my Chevelle. Oh, anyway, you can add that stuff in there. It won't hurt it, even if it is a later engine. Okay, so I got that. I bought masking tape off of eBay. You buy this 3M stuff here, about 12 rolls. It's about $3 compared to $5 at your local paint store. I got that. Probably got some other stuff here I can't think of right at the moment. But anyway, let's prime these 2 panels here. Let me just plug this paint gun in. Of course, I got my little cheap Harbor Freight gun here. Okay, I'm gonna do the rest off camera here. I get to use two hands. But basically put on 2 good coats, and then we'll put a guide coat over top of that here when I'm done. So I will be back in a minute. Okay guys, I put 2 good coats on there. I have a bunch of junk paint, so I had a little bit of base coat. It was more of a, I was hoping it'd be darker, so I just sprayed some dark charcoal type paint on there for a guide coat. If you don't have any junk paint around, just use a can of black. I just didn't want to waste a half a can of black paint spraying on there. So what you do, you let this the longer the better on this primer, really. I'd say a minimum of 2 to 3 days. Let that thing really dry. 2 or 3 days out in the sun. If it's, you know, 10 degrees outside, let it sit for a week or 2. Okay, and then we'll go over it next video. But you block sand it down till this guide coat is gone. And as you're sanding it, you'll see in the guide coat, you'll see the grind marks and the 80 grit marks and everything on this deck lid. And you just keep blocking it till it's all gone. And then you just put your final coat of primer on it. About 2 more coats. Let that dry for a long time. Scuff it down. It's ready to paint. Okay, so really you should only prime the car twice. Just after body work, sand it all down, and then final prime before you paint it. So anyway, I think I'll end this video. We got these 2 major panels done anyway. The deck lid all stripped, dents fixed. Same with this quarter panel. It just takes so long, guys. This is like the 4th day already. So we're gonna do the roof next. It looks like they sanded it down to metal, or sanded the paint off at least the middle of it, and then put a light coat of primer or something, and it's all surface rust on there. So we're going to take a DA to that, and like I said, the only bad spots Right here, there's Bondo. And this spot here. And then there's a dent right here. Other than that, I don't think it'll be that bad. Because most of this will just DA off with 80. And we'll grind these Bondo areas, rework them, block it all out, and prime it. That should be it. Now I still got this quarter to go here, but it's basically going to be the same as the other one. So I may do that off camera. I'm sure we're going to come some of them rust spots right there, just like the other side, but I'm going to, that's what we'll do next video. Strip this quarter, the roof, and that'll be the whole back end. And then we just got fenders, doors, hood. So anyway, it'll eventually get done. Okay, so like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Welcome to all the new viewers there. I'm still getting a bunch in, I guess, from that repairing a dash video. That's not, well, it was viral for me, so I don't know, what, 11 or 12,000 views on it. But yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, I got more of that. I'll take these cars from just being, you know, cheap, you know, abandoned basket cases type cars, and fixing them up so they're pretty much like new on a budget. I mean, not like new, but like compared to what they were. Not no show car, but just a budget build, taking them all the way to being painted. Okay, so yeah, come along for the ride. We'll eventually get this one done, and I shouldn't even say what I'm doing next, but I got this. I just been thinking about it the last couple of days, and I got all these ideas. It's gonna be a while on that Nova before it's painted, but I bought this 68 Nomad wagon about 5 years ago, and this is gonna be next. It'll probably be a couple more months from now, but I got some big plans for this one. It's a basket case, been sitting in a field for over 30 years. It's definitely a field find type car. It's rotted along the bottom. Don't know how bad the frame is. I doubt the frame's damaged, just body panels and stuff. But I got some big ideas for that. I've been thinking about the last few days. Been watching that, I don't know if any of you guys watched that Sick Week, the Dragon Drive in Florida, and a couple of wagons on there. And I'm not going to build a race car, but I'm going to build a cruiser, like a hot rod power tour type car that you can just use anywhere. Anyway, I'm thinking about that wagon and what I'd like to do to it. So we got that coming up in probably a few more months after this car's done completely. I want to get it as far as I can, and then I got other stuff. I may make a video. I seen my Chevelle video went pretty good. I just put those 3 videos together and into one for the 69 Chevelle. But I was thinking I never did have a video of this driving, so I can't. It's been 6 months since I've driven it. I think I had to do something to the brakes. I mean, the brakes work, but I think I had to push really hard for them to work, and I was going to recheck them and redo the brakes and the front end alignment. So anyway, I think I'm going to work on this for a little bit, day or two, in between the Nova, and wash it up, make sure the battery's charged. And the next video may be of this Chevelle. We'll take it for a drive and see what all it needs to be. When I fixed it up, I wanted to keep it, use it for a daily driver. But my first drive out, I drove to AutoZone to get some stuff, and a guy just fucking opens his door into it and backs into it with his back. I was about to beat his ass. And I thought, well, that's why you can't drive these type of cars around, even in parking lots and everything. You know, people fucking have no respect for nothing. They just bash into them and everything. So I hate for any of these cars here to get all banged up like that using it as a daily driver. But I'm going to drive it more. I wanted to be the type of car that I can drive around, or something I don't have to leave in a parking lot for more than 2 minutes. But anyway, next video I may do a little bit of work on this one, and we'll go for a real test drive in it. It's not real fast. It's got a 75 Corvette engine in it, but it's, you know, 200 horsepower from the factory, although it's got a aftermarket intake and headers and stuff on it, but it's not no speed demon. But anyway, that's what's coming up. So for you subscribers, just click that subscribe button, bottom right hand corner of the screen. Click that. It's free, doesn't cost anything. You'll be notified of new videos coming out. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna put this additives in those cars too. I just need to stop working on this one for a day or two. Okay, so thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see y'all next video. Just changed out the master cylinder on the 78. Here's the old one here. What it was doing was dripping right out the back here. So yeah, probably be rebuilt with a little seal, but it's just as easy to replace the whole thing. So anyway, they work good now. So that's one little job done.